Hashem Yahushai, Hashem Harakah double honors and those that bring those on real well. Shalom to all elect. Out here once again to prophesy the downfall of this kingdom according to the Bible. Alright, the prophecies therein. And yeah, another one step closer to the end. We're seeing all the things going on around the earth. To see that this place is waxing worse, man. It's getting closer to the time of the end. And there's no two ways about it. There ain't no going back, you know, to prior to what it was like before Novid, all these different things. It's a wrap. It's a race to the bottom, basically. And show fire, the bottom will be met, right? And it's going to be a finish line, right? It isn't just going to be like, oh yeah, just keep on going down and we'll work out as it goes along. So, it's very like the wild dog. Oh, okay. But that's the rhetoric. It allows that shit. That's kind of rhetoric. It allows to build up. It's like you can't deal with this. But yeah. Now for real, that's why it's this week it's been a busy week. Yeah, it's funny because Russia they did the deal with Ukraine where they're meant to let the grain out. Then they bombed one of the fucking ports like 12 hours later, man. They said one of the ports got psychological warfare. I was like, I saw him trying to fucking article, man. I saw that shit, I was like, this guy is a fucking joker, man. Because it was like, they said it was like 12 hours. And then man bombed the thingy, man. Yeah. They hit the port in Odessa, like 12 hours after they signed the deal. So it's, you know, as far as, you know, it seemed, they said, oh, this is, you know, a sign of hope. I was like, bro, I don't know what. If you're based on that, you better watch out. Because, and then lo and behold, fucking find out that the shit don't even mean nothing. So now we're in a time where, you know, it's prophecy speaking. And everyone's more or less trying to do their best to kind of skirt through life and not to acknowledge these things that died down. Now it's, you know what, it's the time of that's British summer holiday, man. Everyone's looking at their 40-degree weather. Yeah. Where it was like the hottest like summer recorded on record and shit. Hottest weather ever in England. So people are looking to, you know, maximize that, make the most of it. Everyone's out, you know, the shorts and t-shirts, having a good time. But hey, what's going on in reality? I read this. Matthew 24 and 37. It says, "What? But as the days of Noah were, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. But as in the days before the flood, they were eating and drinking, marrying and giving in marriage, until the day that Noah entered into the ark, and knew not until the flood came and took them all away. So shall also the coming of the Son of Man be." Yeah, that's how cold it's going to be. Everyone's going to even have the capacity to be able to give in marriage. If they get married, there's going to be celebrations, there's going to be wedding receptions. You know, there's going to be people linking up, having the time of their life, right up until when? Until the destruction sweeps in. It's going to seem like everything's fine. Everything's all running smoothly. You know, there's okay. Especially when you're inside like central, you know, the central concentrated metropolis areas, that's where this shit's gonna run to a certain extent. You know, you're gonna have to get your mark, you're gonna have to get your planted chip, you're gonna have to operate within the system. But then, you know, they're gonna be able to do certain things. I'm like, yeah, you know, it's not so bad. You know, I don't know what's going on, you know, over there. You know, it's kind of wild with some rushes there. You know, it's alright. You know, up until missiles start flying, man. And that's something you see in these see it a lot in these post-apocalyptic movies, where they'll kind of have like a little space where it's moving all right. Like with In Time, I was talking to one girl In Time. That's a film that shows like you had what New Greenwich, which was like the first area. That was where everyone was concentrated. They had, you know, they had the mark was like what the timer, where you had the guys who were living forever. They had all the wealth, all the resources concentrated to them, so they could run, they could do what they wanted to do, and live their lifestyle of what never-ending bliss. But then you had what? You had the everyone else out in the slums, they're barely making do. So that's what these guys are desiring. That's what they're aiming for. They're looking to have it where they're going to maintain their little Elysiums, their little utopias, and then everyone else is going to fuck it. They're trying to not even be they're trying to not even be at risk going from on there. So Amos 9:1 says, "Well, I saw the Lord standing upon the water, and he said, smite the lintel of the door, that the posts may shake, and cut them in the head, all of them, and I will slay the last of them with the sword. He that fleeth of them shall not flee away, and he that escapeth of them shall not be delivered. Though they dig into hell, thence will mine hand take them. Though they climb up to heaven, thence will I bring them down. And though they hide themselves in the top of Carmel, I will search and take them out of thence. And though they be hid from my sight in the bottom of the sea, thence will I command the serpent, and he shall bite them." Yeah. So, Godzilla's going to have his work cut out, man. Leviathan's going to be doing set loose to hunt. That's why it's going to be a thing where these elites, they're not looking to be in the same stock as the average person out and about. The average Joe, what they're going to be dealing with is going to be completely different to what the elites are looking to deal with. And it's the same for now. That's why so-called influencer lifestyle, everyone's finds it so appealing. Because you'll see guys with like, supercars, mansions, having all kinds of different forms of designer clothes, shoes, bags, all kinds of things. They're seeing a lifestyle they can only dream of. That's why it appeals to them so much. That's why you got so many people who desire it. And same for the elites. These guys are living a completely different life. That's why there was a news article they did, like, I think the Guardian did like a week and a little bit ago, about how the Queen isn't beholden to any of the laws. She could go and she could shotgun someone in someone's fucking drawer out, and bro, there's no legal recourse in the country by which she can actually be found guilty of anything. And that's dumb been set up for the longest. And it's funny because that goes back to what the divine right of kings. Originally, the King of England, he was meant to be on a level where he's basically been anointed by the Most High. So there's no means by which you can take him out of that spot. That's why what's his name, Oliver Cromwell, when he came against Charles I, the son of King James, who set up the King James Bible. When he came up against Charles I, he tried to basically have Parliament say like, find him, be able to execute it, and they didn't want to. So he done out the Parliament and set up a whole new one that had them say what he wanted. But that's why it's like when you're dealing with the elites, when you're dealing with those in these top positions, the top of these organizations, they're mocked. These guys have a different set of rules. They're not living the same lifestyle you're living. It says, and though they go into captivity before their enemies, Thence will I command the sword, and they shall slay them. And I will set my eyes upon them for evil and not for good. Yeah? You guys are going to have evil done against them. Because why? As far as what you guys are trying to accomplish on the face of the earth, they're going completely against the scriptures, man. Everything they're doing, they're trying to be a replacement for the Most High.
First Thessalonians 5:1. But the times and the seasons, brethren, ye have no need that I write unto you. For yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night. For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape.
Yeah, we got into it before about time of Noah. So basically, you know, right now, everything as it seems right now is going on with almost normality. If anything, the science was surefire there, but the reality of it is almost survives. I believe in the right phrase. It's the fact that when these things pop up, there's a sense of alert, you know, something may happen. But then as time goes on, it becomes normalized, and they get used to the idea of it. Even the whole thing with the declaration of, by the World Health Organization, you know, monkeypox being a, you know, big critical thing right now. When you actually look into the details of it, you peel back the layers, you realize it's another manipulation tactic to get certain things in place. Just the same with global warming, right? And the agenda that has in place. It's more restrictions upon the lives of the people, more means as to them garnering power over people. But then, you know, what does that mean to you outside of what it means to the elites? It means that we're in the time of the end, right? But the only people that are going to know are those that are in the faith, right? Whereas the people that are in the dark, in the dark place, they won't see it. That opposite bias is going to set in, and they're just going to continue to go about it as usual. They're going to be seeing it, you know, like Love Island thing right now. You know, that's kind of the flavor of the month. So everyone's, their mind will link to that. That's what they're investing in. That's what they're thinking about. And obviously it's a festival season. Some of the
inviting me.
all these different things that basically are distractions to the minds of people to, you know, let me just live my life. A lot of these things as well, you know, the news, especially in light of 2020 onwards, has made life greatly stressful for many people. And they even looking for more of an escape, right? And they're kind of in a circle of events, whatever. It's not circle of events. They're in like a circle of vicious circle, basically, whereby they do different things to make themselves feel at ease. And after they feel at ease, you know, for a moment, anxiety kicks in, depression kicks in. And then they're trying to find else to basically, you know, cover up that and keep the guy again. And that's why you have, you know, things like right now being in Vegas, right? Those are like two girls over there, right? They're like 14 years old, they're smoking vape, fun. Yeah, I think it's like social media kind of blew that up, and it's like I think they said it's like 4 times or way more nicotine than you get with cigarette. It's like less, well, because you're not smoking the mono, the carbon monoxide or whatever it is. It's less deadly in that aspect. But the way it's addictive, it's like, especially when you're young, and the chemicals in it as well, honestly. You know, a lot of people they're saying it's like, oh, it's good for you or something. They try to flip it like when they did that with tobacco when it first came out. They said smoking cigarettes is good for you. So I let you know this was, again, a lot of people don't know history. At one time in the market, that smoking cigarettes is healthy. Now if you go to your local newspaper or off license and you buy some fucking cigarettes, the first thing it's going to say, smoking causes harm and could lead to death. These same people that are monetized science, we know that
come down and kind of not allow us to bank anymore. But it's a means to an end. A lot of things, even like where I work right now, where you build, it's still standing on it, falling down. But guess what? They're making, it's like they're probably racking up like $1 million a day. So are they going to shut it down? No, because they're greasing certain farms and certain politicians. So they're going to turn the time down.
James 5:1. Go to now, ye rich men, weep and howl for the miseries that shall come upon you. It's funny because the way the modern conception of riches are, you think like a millionaire, someone who's got 250 grand, or someone business that's revenue is like $1 million in a year or something. You think that's someone who's counted among the rich. But this is someone who's actually rich among real rich. It's like what? Land, animals, precious metals. Things that are have been of value from the beginning of time, and not something like fiat currency or things like stocks and bonds, which they're tied into a monetary system built on deception. So the actual guys with riches, those are amongst the elites. Because just like in the UK, land is owned by the state. Largely, by and large, the vast majority of it is owned by the state. In which you're kind of renting it for a period of time. It's not like something where you can just have your land and then you have it. And that's why it's, even if you can buy a lot of land, for you to be like, I'm having to build up something, you need to get planning permits, you need to get all forms of licenses to do it. Just like, you might have paid off your house, if you want to do a loft conversion, or you want to extend your bathroom over, a few feet or whatever, these things are going to require permission from the state. So it's a different, once again, a different class, different classification. Says what? Go to now, you rich men, weep and howl for your miseries that shall come upon you. Your riches is corrupted, your garments are moth-eaten, your gold and silver is cankered. Your gold and silver is cankered, and the rust of them shall be a witness against you. Yeah, as far as all that monetary strength, I'm not saying what to do, because I'm reading this as well. It goes into, how he saw that money's a big part of the struggle that has been able to build himself up. It says what Ezekiel 28:4 says, with thy wisdom and with thine understanding, thou hast gotten thee riches, hast gotten gold and silver into thy treasures. By thy great wisdom and by thy traffic hast thou increased thy riches, and thine heart is lifted up because of thy riches. So yeah, the wisdom people was given, that's allowed them to build up, to attain those riches. And hey, that's why now he's managed to centralize it so totally. Because I think they said like now is the time of the world where they said it's where income and inequality is at a level that's never been seen before. You have so many people concentrated, so small an amount have been more concentrated. Because why? Because that's how the system shakes out. It's basically keeping the people on the debt and on a level where they can basically just spread by and then all their wealth just floats towards those, these big companies want. Yeah, it's a site that's been in the work for many years. Even you go back to the time of the dark ages, basically, we had the money documentary, money market.
Now you had the bank is basically fragmented. Really, going about in very means of flashes. And so far, so now that people have paper money is actually paper currency is actually on monetary value, which it really is because a lot of people have faith in it. Where in reality, gold, silver, land,
Oh yeah, she's just living in
and
Toulouse.
life really with wealth, right? So where you have people not understanding that's where there's a lot of the people have been taken advantage of. And that's why scripture comes to mind, man. Not only great Richard held back by a fool, basically, so basically this man has allowed him to basically leverage his wisdom, right? Understanding, how things are meant to be, to basically use it to his advantage and to overcome everyone in this world. Now even now, current present period with him, it's even coming to a head. And the reason why I say it is because they're moving towards a cashless society. Now whereby it's computer money. So there's many psychological benefits, for example. It doesn't actually feel like money, but really, okay. It doesn't even feel like money because you tap your card, you tap whatever.
Yeah, that's the mindset.
Yeah. Where you've worked, you sweat, with the sweat of your brow, you make your daily bread. But then the way you give it right back to them, without a fool, right? But then also,
When you get paid monthly, it's like you're not even going to be able to. If you were to break in your practice 12 hours and get the cash in hand, you're going to kind of be like, damn, okay, so it costs me all that, so I have to do a certain kind of way. So I'm really going to have to fucking kill myself like that. Where it's like you're just getting a chunk at the end of the month. So you have people where they'll blow on a weekend out or whatever, they'll have a good time, then they'll fucking be broke in a week or month. There's a lot of people that just kind of live like that. Proverbs 28. Proverbs 28:6. Better is the poor that walketh in uprightness than he that is perverse in the ways, though he be rich. Whoso keepeth the law is a wise son, but he that is a companion of righteous men shame his father. He that by usury and unjust gain increases his substance, he shall gather it with him, not for him that will be poor. Usury is one of the key ways that wealth is being increased. That's why it's like the debt system. The key ones are like now it's been I think since 2008 financial crisis, it's payday loans, and for the longest time before then it's been credit cards and payday loans. Those two things are like the key things of where people are getting fucked. What do you call it? Payday loans. Or there was a period of time you would see it was like money shelters. There was all kinds, especially in what do you call it? Zone 4, man. And
so anywhere where Jake is at,
yeah, where they have the bet threads, they have the all the betting shops, like 10 betting shops in town.
10 off license.
And then 10 off licenses, and then like 3 fucking different brands to pay their loan company. Whereas
1,000 companies.
yeah, it's like the payday loans. So, yeah, that's something else they did. It's like you give your fucking winning ring, and then they'll hold it as guarantee for the for payday loans. And then it's just, well, I think they took legal action against them because they said it was like, we're bad. It was like people were getting one payday loan to pay off the other one, and then it was just honestly, it was like they caught in a hole. And that's the same thing happened with credit cards, where credit cards people would take out another one to pay off one, and then they would just end up fucked. So with these, like these, all these systems, what? Read it again. It says, He that by usury and unjust gain increaseth his substance, he shall gather it for him that will pick the poor. That's what's saying in James 5. Woe to rich man, woe to you rich man, weep and howl for the miseries that shall come upon you. Because the biggest misery is what? All that they've built up, it's been done for what? For the sake of being given over to Israel, over to the elect, really. Because just as when the Egyptians got spoiled, it's going to be the same thing. When the elect comes out, they're also going to take all the true wealth as was described from these heathen, man. And even the land is a key one. When you go to the original blessing of what Israel got together, then what is understood as land of Israel and Judea or what before, that's not even a fullness of it. So it says so back in James, it says James 5:3, your gold and silver is cankered, the rust of them shall be a witness against you, and shall eat your flesh as it were fire. Ye have heaped treasure together for the last days. Behold, the hire of the laborers who have reaped down your fields, which is of you kept back by fraud. And that's become a central pillar of how the society works. When you do it, there's almost no place on the planet Earth now, Western society, where you can go somewhere and work and then get paid the very same day. Cash in hand.
Unless you're doing it like you know something.
Yeah. And usually it's off the grid. Babysitting one. The one girl's talking to she babysits, they pay cash in hand. It's like, you know what? Things like that, little agreements between people like that. Maybe garden work as well, like if you do someone's garden. Yeah. There's a few things like that. A lot of building stuff as well. Get stuff done cash in hand. But by and large, most industries, they've gone to where you get paid weekly, you get paid every 2 weeks, you get paid monthly. And so that's where you've done the work, you've broken your back, but you ain't even getting anything. Like the money you get, there's places where it's like, you're not even getting paid for a week before, you're getting paid for like a week before. So then you've done a whole grind, and then that's just in the void. And then you'll have companies that go bust. Then you might have broken your back for a month and they ain't paid you. Which is of you kept back by fraud prior, and the cries of them which have reaped are entered into the ears of the Lord of Sabaoth. Yeah, he that lived in pleasure, the Lord of hosts. He that lived in pleasure on the earth and been, ye have lived in pleasure on the earth and been wanted. Ye have nourished your hearts as in the day of slaughter. Ye have condemned and killed the just, and he doth not resist. So yeah, that's with that key thing that's been done by with these monetary means, with these different systems. What the destruction of Jacob, that's always been a priority, that's always been on the list. That's really how with his wealth, with the means that Esau put together, what's he utilizing for wickedness? That's his role, man. That's his job. He's made a world where everyone's going around, chasing money, chasing madness, chasing any form of success, no matter what. Basically, all the things affiliated with money, everyone aspires to. Certain designer clothes, certain brands of cars, certain kinds of things like, going out with yachts, jet-setting lifestyle, all these different things. And social media has made it a kind of feedback for where people are what? They're always obsessed with focus on these things. And that's kind of what they're just trying to cling to. If I do this and my life has meaning, or finally be happy once getting to Y Z. Then as well, because of the confusion, that's a lie. Because as well, a lot of people that shit they do to get there, they're just afterwards they're convicted in their own spirit, man. They just end up fucking killing themselves. you get a lot of these entertainers, when they'll get success, they'll get to that position where, you know, they're meant to be on the top of the world. They're all depressed, man. They're all messed up. Why is that?
Contentment. Yeah, that's the real. That's the secret to life. If you want to live like a life of fullness, really contentment. Obviously, contentment within the Lord, right? Because real. Solomon broke it down. Solomon was a guy that experienced life. Bloody fucking 200 miles per hour, man. He had 1,000 women. Only, I don't know how many men could really imagine a lifestyle like that, where you have 1,000 women at your disposal. You have gardens and orchards where you can just sit down and chill. You have wealth beyond the magical scale. You know, just things, accumulated things just at your disposal. A garden, you can go to war for fun, you can do all kinds of shit. But guess what? In all of that, he said, like, it's about serving the Most High, right? Even more so, because go into the book of Rock and also Paul spoke of that. It deals with contentment, right? There's a certain number of things where it's like, it's enough. You gotta be like, yeah, like, I can have more, but this is where I get off, this is all I need. Because after, you know, that's why you find a lot of people in society, they start to abuse things, right? We usually find people that have the whole world in their hands. They wind up being a fucking drug addict. That type of shit. You know, that's the craziest shit.
Judah, Benjamin.
Hang on a second.
What's that? Wow.
Are you trying to protect the lion?
Protecting lions.
Yes, because it's a lion.
Nah, we'll speak about the end of the world according to the Bible.
Jesus.
The end of the world.
I got it. I'm Florian. What's your name?
Sorry.
Come on. What's your name? Why did I get it wrong? Apologies. I'm including.
Sorry, it's in the way of
Oh, yeah.
And this is by any means, I'm not trying to take it.
No, it's talking about Judas Iscariot. And Judah, this is from the Genesis.
Tribe, the son of
One of the
Isaac.
12 sons of Jacob.
So the one that so in our religion, so we're religious people. We're Christians. With our religion,
What I'm saying is there's two different Judas. There's Judah, same name. The name Judah, there was multiple people with it.
It was a popular name among the Israelites.
Because it's the name of one of the Gentiles.
That's who they're known as today. Brazilians, Mexicans, some of these other
So, hang on a minute. Let me unpack that. Judah is known as Negroes.
Yeah.
Seriously.
The black people in America, they're the Israelites. Because when you go to the
Right away, we're very ignorant. So what would you do with that?
No, honestly, listen, I'm religious. I'm not by any means.
No,
I don't
no,
mean
we're-
disrespect for anything.
we but it's basically these are the
So hang on a minute, apologies. Reuben.
Seminole Indians.
It's very true.
Well, Jewish people use it quite a lot,
Yeah.
but because it's the name of the firstborn son. But Reuben, the actual people that are known as Reubenites, that are Seminole Indians, you know, of Florida. Seminole.
I know. Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
They're the actual.
Can I take a picture?
Yeah, you're welcome to. Basically, these are the true people of the Bible.
So what's the thing with the 12 stories of Israel? Okay, let me tell you my story. I come from a Jewish community in Macedonia who had to move countries to Romania. And then communist came. So I have Jewish background from Macedonia. I know nothing about Jewish. And then I saw that the 12 tribes of Israel. And then I know I've done a bit of research. I know Reuben and the Simons. And
Yeah.
so I know nothing. I'm honest. Like,
So is your the religious belief Christian or?
Yes.
well, because I come from Romania, back in the 80s, we were forced upon. We were forced upon. My family
Yeah,
had
but
to.
I mean, for me, it's beautiful.
Religion.
It's a beautiful
I know
religion.
Romania, I know it's very, from what I understand,
Very
very
religious.
religious.
Incredibly religious.
If you come to Romania, you don't find people. It's very difficult to find people who don't believe in God.
But yeah,
And this is something that I
Beautiful. I mean, how beautiful is that?
that's good.
And then, so what
We're basically, when you read the Bible, I'm sure you're familiar with the stories of the Bible. There's always the prophets that basically spoke about the different prophets, Jeremiah, Isaiah, Ezekiel, so on and so forth. So we're doing the same thing. We're basically speaking of this. We're still in biblical times. So it's nothing different. So like you had the prophets back then, they'll come before the people and tell them, look, this is what's happening, and this is going to be the judgment. We're doing the same thing. So when you see things like conflict happens, World War III, Russia, Ukraine, the whole world, geopolitics.
one night we're not really there.
We're not, but it's one of the many watch for here. Very important time. Food shortages as well with the grain, red basket. Yeah. So please, New York with the book of Matthew 24, Luke 21, Mark 13. They're the things the Lord spoke of when the disciples asked him, what would be the thing going to happen when the end of the world comes? We're basically coming out here, we're letting people know, whoever it's for, we'll tell them. We're not forcing them upon them. Yeah, this is.
Did you guys
Not heavily.
your parents?
We believe in the church. Yeah.
Your parents?
Yeah.
Did they teach you about this?
like regular person.
Yeah.
As far as for this is something that we see from the teachers. Because this is the way our understanding of the scriptures is something we don't like. It's not can't be found in the church. Because as Muslims, it's just like being able to recognize who the tribes are today. That's something we need. We need something to break it down. You familiar with the book of Acts? Okay, in the book of Acts, there's the Apostle Philip, and he basically yeah, and he basically came across an Ethiopian unit, and he was reading the book of Isaiah. He said to him, understand, how do I read this? Like, you know what you're reading? He said, no, how can I understand this? I'm a teacher. So he basically said, in order for him to learn what's in the book, he has to have such a understanding of it. So he basically taught him. It's the same thing, because really, we can talk about religion and everything, but really the time we're in is the end. When you see all this stuff, 100%. But when you see what's going
Very interesting.
Okay.
actually, what is the Bible
Mais
say?
successful reformer. D'abord, papa.
That's the best indication of knowing what it is.
Yeah. Oh, genuinely.
We could be doing a couple of things. Yeah.
Could be going on a post party and having some drinks and like everybody else. Guess what? It's fucking not doing it. Yeah, no, but I'm you're not
That's cool.
you're like taking yourself. Well, you even, you know what is the end story of that? You want all of us to be bad.
Well,
No.
We're
yeah.
not.
This is the thing. There's only going to be a handful that you get now. So it's even like I said, with the end.
We're looking for them. Essentially, like,
We're just telling, we're just,
passing them all out.
we're letting everyone know where it is. So if anything you leave here after speaking to us, what we would say is like the end time prophecy is three key prophecies: the mark of the beast, and the RFID chip.
Which is the kind of
They want to put an RFID chip in the keys, so you can only buy and sell with that chip. That's why with the whole finger.
very.
I work
by the
for
way,
that
this
company.
guy-
Oh,
this guy
really?
is very like we're happy married. This guy
you're
is like I don't care if I have a
Let me
chip or a
show you
car
something.
mark, and I'm
This is
like
something that-
easily against it.
I'm a man.
Cannot accept it.
I'm a man in a society where
This is what you supposed to do.
this society offers social mobility.
You understand what I'm saying, right?
I'm sorry. I
Okay,
have a
okay.
photo of her. No, I'm saying something. I have a photo of her. She's my wife, right? And then if I do that, I have she's my image. This society in London, as a man, if she wouldn't be for one my life, I would amount to nothing. People don't understand that. And this is me. This is
I know, I understand what you're going to say.
Right.
You're providing for your wife. You're going to provide potentially for your
my
family.
grounding.
Yeah.
When I come home, she's the reason I do everything I do, right? Which is frowned upon in this society. And I work in one of the largest companies in and I'm genuinely interested in people about it.
No,
Like the way the corporations are brainwashing you. Wrong. You're giving yourself away.
I don't think the corporations are the problem.
Yeah, but they are. And the government.
They're trying. Listen, come on. Everybody's
you're going to have a good dynamic.
corporations are.
So you're
Listen,
Like you have to get the chip.
no, but come on, let's be honest. Corporations really have a reason. Like my mom had a reason to get the best out of me, right?
Yeah.
By her means, not by my means. I was born in Romania. Last time I checked, and I was charged. Romanians are here to take your job. When I meet you, I'm not.
I know what you're saying.
Right? Okay, so.
But that's a bad kind of.
Come on. It's like,
They're trying to make it like that, but I know it's not like
But
that.
what I'm trying
No,
to say
it's
is.
like one moderator is like speak here.
Oh.
And to like really give yourself.
Spread the message.
Saturday the 23rd, 5 o'clock in the morning. I'm drunk. She's drunk. You're not.
We'll be later though.
Everybody like me walk past you. Come on, let's be real.
Yeah,
We walk
yeah,
past,
yeah, we
you're
respect
past
it.
it, and apologies. You're nobody.
Yeah.
That doesn't exist.
That doesn't mean anything to anybody, you know.
Now let me
that?
tell you something. I was that. I know what it means.
You guys are probably part of this because that's probably why you stopped.
Oh no, you
The
know what?
reason why we spoke is
You know
because
why?
about
Because my
15 years
mom,
ago I
when I
came
was
here to
growing
discuss
up as a child, she told me about this.
it.
She told me about God. She asked me to the church. And I found something really beautiful. You know, the kindness and all the love, although you don't really find it. But
Now I'm
do you know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't have been who I am today without my parents, my mom,
that is
taking me
That's good.
and introducing me.
It's a blessing unto you.
And like, how can I judge
you know,
my
to give
coworkers
Let
at
me tell you
work
something. You know what? Come on, please.
who have never been
You guys
introduced to
Right.
Jesus?
You can be different. That's the thing that
But how
people
can you
don't
judge
understand.
people
You
who
can
have
be
never been
different
told
than
about
me.
Jesus?
But something going together.
Like,
Something.
how is this fair? How is this fair, man?
That's my duty.
Like, how can you be safe?
I'm not bullshitting. I'm not.
No, I know.
I'm a 30 something.
And if you don't feel
That's my duty.
it, no. So if you don't have that, you don't believe in yourself.
like,
Yeah, you believe it.
You're supposed to be a
step back.
scientist.
Right? Everybody would be like,
Yeah, well,
I don't know, I need to know you.
part of why it's
Crazy people.
because what you need to understand is when you have equal tribes, you have those on the side, but you also have those that are scattered as well. Whilst
Yeah, but how can you? It's so easy for me. It's so easy for that's why I asked
you also have
your
those
parents
that
think
historically
Yeah,
at different times
Yes.
where there would
My
have been
husband, yes. That's why I
different
stopped
areas,
because I
and then they would have had people that stayed there, and then descendants would have
you
been
are
there,
what I
whether
would
placed
want
in
to be,
India,
but I'm a sinner.
China,
I am
different
a
times,
sinner.
whatever.
And I
So
can't-
within
I
Eastern Europe,
can't-
that's somewhere where,
Right?
if you know the history of like
From
Moors,
but
Yeah.
other people do not even
different
have
parts
this
of Europe,
awareness.
where you have
Like how wrong
yeah,
they are.
well, it's been I went to Sardinia.
Like how
They've got the flag. They're still got 4 more.
Then you can buy a house for €1.
Yeah,
Change.
yeah.
Google it.
I saw that.
You
I
can
saw
buy a
that.
house.
Yeah, I
You have to
remember.
pay €25,000 to do a house.
Yeah, but you can, yeah, I saw that. But that's we have a lot of our people, those on the tribes, they're scattered out in these different areas. So you know, if the spirit vibes you, you guys start.
Can I
being cool.
can I ask something? Can we come to
Do you have a channel I can follow?
or something that we can join already? If we want to join, like you
Like
have
a
a
YouTube channel. Do you have a YouTube channel?
We do that. I was giving this. Nah, yeah. Look, we're not offended by nothing you're saying. We understand where you're coming from. And we like you said, we're spending time on our side, and you're spending time on your side, and you come and listen to us.
You are being blessed by God.
But that's, it's,
You
well,
are blessed with yourself.
I'm Florin. What's your name?
Florian, right?
Florin.
Yeah.
Think of golden coins back in the days. Florins and shillings.
Okay.
Florins were the top coin in England.
Yes, GMS.
Shillings were the bottom. What's your name? What's your name? Sam. By the way, let me tell you something. So you would have this introduction about
I know what you're saying.
yeah, they'll be like,
What's wrong with you guys?
what are you on?
Yeah.
Like genuine, like what's going on? Like, who did you take? Yeah, exactly.
I know already, but I know where you come from. It's more it's like it's a religious society.
It's not even religious.
Spiritual. Yeah.
Who are we without without the tribe? We need a tribe. We need a unity. We need something that connects you to something. I believe. Some person, a family member. If you lack that,
Flowing along.
you're nobody. You can do anything for your back. It depends where
Where you feeling that day.
universe takes you. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
You have to bring on and then from there, that's how you get forward. It's a matter of, for those that are going to be the rocks that resist, it's the men that need to establish. So that the women, wives, marry us, already married, already so they like to say, he's already, he's going to hold it down.
God bless you guys. Be proud of yourself. Always be proud of yourself. It's selfless thing. It's not. Thank you so much.
Thank you guys.
Thank you very much.
Pleasure as well. Take care, yeah?
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's how I look at it. Well,
Because I was like, just to start kind of chat, already the spirit.
I thought they might joke around a little bit, but as they kind of went on.
Those links, yeah, they're having a good time. But they were, they were sincere. They appeared to be
said. And the reason you could tell because the aura that created, the dynamic that played was like the whole, you know, it fucked up a lot of people walking by like,
Yeah, people walking up.
yeah, like, walking by like,
I was like, whoa. That's why it's just you
high
guys
powered
are
shit.
yeah, belonging in the spirit, man.
Yeah.
Can't
The demons on them started jumping out.
It's like Star Trek.
Yeah.
But hey, that's why
He said it, he said like, you know, what he said? He said, oh yeah, I got friends with me, like, what you want? They still around. They'll be trying to beat him out the way. And one of the points she mentioned about, you know, she was going to bring up, follow on, man. Spirit,
yeah, for real.
you know?
Because it's like what you said, it's like Saturday evening, doing anything to do with the boat party.
And we really took me, man. We took South America broads, and it was so glad we shake down the ring there and shit, man. All that shit. All that, and that's what we could do. But guess what? We're not. Don't mean that we don't have no downtime and things, but this takes the pressure in our life. It's the priorities. Yeah, you know, the spirit anyway, what it serves, I was going to mention about, you know, key prophecies, I guess it was into the sentence. And it ended up being sent.
Well, you might mention Mark.
Yeah, that was, and he said he worked.
Yeah.
So maybe, you know, that's a good point. That might have actually been the
thing
seed
that you needed to have.
there, just for him to be like, nah, that's I shouldn't take that. The switch is, and you can see the dynamic they had. He really appreciates her input to their relationship. So, and she was adamant.
About not taking
Yeah.
it on. Which,
Like,
no,
nah,
that's what,
so
you know what?
maybe that's a spirit.
Well, it's due.
Yeah.
Nah, that's real shit.
Maybe his soul may have been saved in that. The seed has been planted to save his soul in the coming event. Because guess what? He said he works for a big corporation. He's in the back door. That's why I see them two are nice dynamic. Because she's like, corporations about it. But he's like, look, I'm doing everything for my woman. I'm doing it all to take care of her. My screensaver was a woman, wallpaper was a marriage. So he's all about it, but then she's, you know,
Yeah, that's why it's like she's saying, look, you can't mess with that. He's more likely to not mess with it. But hey, that's the spirit, heaven. Hey, that's the main one we got to go into. And then what? That was she was already new.
yeah.
And then she's talking about the corporations. And it's like real talk. These guys, you know, they don't have your best interests at heart. We read this Isaiah 11:11. And it shall come to pass in that day that the Lord shall set his hand again the second time to recover the remnant of his people. You know, very likely they could be among that remnant. Because the first thing they came up, they saw the name, they was like, okay, Judah, he weren't even like they were saying, what? They were just like, oh, okay. So they were trying to get some understanding. They wanted it broken down. And you know, they received it. They didn't listen, it's like they were cool as hell. Gave her the channel, she was like, okay, she was checking out the video. You'll see the spirit. Hey, it's on her. Hey, you know, keep watching. But hey, whether she does or not, it's, you know, the message has been put out. I gave the second most recent video. There's no point wasting time going to a Christian. That's funny as hell. But hey, and it shall come to pass in that day, the Lord shall set his hand again the second time to recover the remnant of his people, which shall be left from Assyria and from Egypt and from Pathros and from Cush and from Elam and from Shinar and from Hamath, from the islands of the sea. So when we're talking about those who've been scattered, they're all over the joint, man. That's why it even ends out with what? The islands of the sea, all over the show. Jake, all over the show. And even I mentioned was to Florida. He said, "Oh yeah, I got family in there." So, who knows?
Well, he said he's got his lineage. Did he say that to you?
Oh yeah,
By
yeah,
his
yeah, yeah,
lineage.
yeah.
Who knows? He may even go back to, he said he's Jewish. He may be the right type of Jewish.
You never know. That's what, hey, it's, it's all for the spirit. As far as we read this, so Amos 9 and 9. Below, I will command and I will sift the house of Israel among all nations, like as corn is sifted in a sieve. Yet shall not the least grain fall upon the earth. So you're going to have Israel sifted from among all these nations. You're going to basically have Israelites come out in these different spots where you think it was just Eden. And that's the thing, that's something spiritual. Because if it was a certain other group, they might have just seen him and been like, nah, you ain't, so what you doing there, man?
You ain't even got no flavor to be in.
Yeah.
You like,
all that kind of, but hey, and that's a funny thing, because like Romanians, especially over there, people do curse out Romanians.
but there's different classes of people. I met Romanians that the stereotypical Romanian meat is like a gypsy.
Yeah,
That's a stereotype.
The
gold teeth and gold jewelry, big rap money,
all that.
But then you got the Romanians that you be like, you're fucking Romanians. I never knew.
Yeah, that's true.
They just look like, white, so-called white people.
Yeah, because I remember it's like even back when I was, when I first come in, there was some Romanians I was chilling with. It was like, hey, they were cool as fuck. I would go around and cook food and chill. And then I was like, dealing with them. I was like, I don't even know why people talk that bad about Romanians. There was another place I worked a couple of years.
Religious element, it's like a honorary site. That's why Andrew Tate, the most infamous man on the internet right now.
Yeah, right now he's running for it.
Yeah, he's got the Kevin Samuel. He's at that pinnacle.
Maybe he makes his ways.
But what if he can stick there in Romania with guns and his own, a man army and all that type of stuff? What's the main reason to go over there? Say like, this is a society where I can be a sovereign in my own right. And they have a certain level of security. You can't just be out there and be doing like some what's the kind of behavior. That's why the kind of mindset he has is so, what's the word? It's so outlandish, especially to the Western world. Because they can't fathom that, women have, a place subordinate to a man, right? And they actually have women that are actually sitting in that place to be active like. One of the questions.
Funny with Israel, she was like, oh. So they said like, okay, so if it's, end times, how do you kind of, wake up and you kind of every day kind of look to improve yourself? So I said, well, for women, it's kind of on you to lean on your husband. Because as far as men that are going to be the rock, they're going to be the ones to resist. And that's really it. Because, hey, it's things that women just aren't built for. It's things that they love. There's roles to play. And that's the thing. It's with like this so-called modern, so-called progressive society. It's basically all those things that just been blurred into sludge. Where it's like, you got a bunch of different lines and you just swipe through them and they all blend into one. So that's all confused. But then there's a reason why all those separations existed. Because there's people that are skilled at certain things, less skilled at others. And then as well, and it's like with
say that roll back. That's it. Sweat, give me some money. I didn't even realize the article. Now I look at it. He chose her.
yeah, that's all that, and that's something that becomes clear as day when you get to a point of crisis. That's why it's like when once the invasion of Ukraine started, the women and children were getting thrown across the border. And then like any men that were anywhere in fighting age, they're like, nah son, you can't even leave. Here's an AK, now go do what you need to do. And hey, that's what, there's a reason why. And it's funny, when it comes to those things, all of a sudden, where's the feminism equalizing out that situation? So the women have to go out there and grab the guns. But hey, that's why for now is a time where these ideas, this lifestyle is being promoted, it's being maintained. It's done through, it's basically done through force. That's why you go to different parts of the third world, all different systems are established. Why? Because they don't have things like, the police, certain laws in place where they don't, they haven't run out of runs. But it's all going to be the world. Read this. Isaiah 32:2 says, "And a man shall be as a hiding place from the wind, and a covert from the tempest." Yeah. So the man's going to be the hiding place from the wind. And really it's those of the elect among Israel. They're going to be the ones that are built up. Because again, a good example is what's it called? Book of Eli. Book of Eli is an excellent example. You basically have Book of Eli where it's led by the Spirit, and then what's her name? Actor Mila Kunis, where she was trying to run with him. Then she was praying. She was praying. Like she ran out there. She would have got raped up and eaten, man. And that's how it's fucked against. So now is a time where this air has been shielded up, especially because it's not even as wild as America. Because this is the elite's backyard. This is where the Rothschilds, this is their boats. That's why you have the way that things are set up and structured. People are more subdued, man. They're more kept. There's more fun kind of kept on people, so that they're not as rebellious. And the culture is about kind of keeping people in line. A man shall be as a hiding place from the wind, and a covert from the tempest, as rivers of water in a dry place, the shadow of a great mountain in a weary land. So yeah, they're going to basically be that place where women are going to be looking to for that protection, because that's going to be required. That's the thing is now you have the lie basically being put out, the so-called independence. Everyone's in, kind of with the mindset, and the joke is the lie that's put out is that anyone out here should be out here running by themselves and somehow sustain themselves as well. In reality, it's they'll do that, but then they'll take public transport, which is going to be driven by someone else. They're going to utilize different forms of monetary systems that are maintained by other people. When by participating in society, there's a bunch of people that need to do things to keep even your electricity and your water running, to keep it so when you go to Tesco, there's actually some fucking there's some chicken legs, there's some beef, there's some cheese, there's some wheat flour. There's all these different products there for you to buy, for you to even get by. So as such, it's not a thing where you can just be out there. And once though, and that's the thing, when any of those systems crumble, because let the electricity become get cut out. I think it's what the hell is the place called? I think it's Texas, where they have fucking power grid issues. Where it's like the power will cut out certain times. There's people where it's fucked. So if you got a business, say you got a food business that has a refrigerator or a freezer, that shit comes out in 3 hours, you might lose like hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of stock off that shit. So now these things will function based on other people. There's going to be a time when all that's crumbles. You got it. Isaiah 32, we'll go down to verse 9. It says, "Rise up, ye women that are at ease. Hear my voice, ye careless doors. Give ear unto my speech. Many days and years shall ye be troubled, ye careless women. For the vintage shall fail, the gathering shall not come." Yeah, the women are hella at ease. But this is the time where women are in the most at ease everyone's face of the planet Earth. When you deal with any form of ancient or any form of the time that came before,
It's still not happening. Well, the majority of them are not happy.
I think they said women's happiness has gone down constantly since like the 60s.
And the joke is like you have everything at your disposal. Goes into contempt, as we were saying before. I was speaking on. They go ahead, oh, they don't realize how little they go ahead, and they want more. You know? But as you're ready, it said rise up women. Yeah, peace. You want more?
So it says, "Thus it's from you women that are at ease, be troubled and jealous, strip you and make you bare, and gird sackcloth upon your loins. They shall lament for the teats, for the pleasant fields, for the fruitful vine." And that's something that is funny because with the economy, a lot of what's it called? Not even luck, just spending of disposable income. I think most of the disposable kind of spending is done by women, which is why you have a lot of businesses where they'll aim their target audience is going to be aimed at women. So with it says what? Well, the men for the teats, the pleasant fields, the fruitful vine. That's, the fatness, all the bliss, all the joys to be enjoyed within society. That's something that women, they aim for. They're not kind of, aiming to kind of just, bring out in the month. They're more looking to enjoy the pleasant things. They want a certain kind of lifestyle. That's why even it's like with rent. There's a lot of girls I talk to, the amount they're paying for rent. They're paying like £800-900 for rent to rent in a nice area, to a nice affordable house. Where it's closer to
half that,
where they're closer to a certain kind of cultural hotspots, so they can go and do certain things. But then it's like, they're going to be paying like 70%, 60, 70, 80% of their wage towards rent. Because of that,
They'll be eating like pasta, like raw pasta for the whole month. Or they'll be like, on the fucking red line, man. In terms of
basically just getting by, but then it's like, they have a nice big house, nice spacious front room, and they'll rent with friends as well. And then they'll have some of the most legendary toxic relationships that I've seen in my life with like women living together. But that's what their kind of focus is what they want to get pleasant things. That's why they'll get a partner. They'll have more experience and example. Someone is looking to bring those goodies because that's it says in the scriptures. A man thinking about how he may please his wife. That's what a lot of men are looking to do. They have a partner. They want to make sure they're having a good time. But all these things. It's going to be a lament for them because they're going to be gone. With these, nowadays, I remember during the lockdown, man, came, they would have come to the UK then with visa from like I think most Commonwealth countries where you can come here and work for 2 years. So it's like there's people that came on that visa and then they would have spent like 1 year plus in lockdown during during the 2 years. And then it was like that one visa they can get. And they, so that's where it's, it's going to be the same, same mindset coming back. What's that? Upon the land of my people, verse 13, upon the land of my people shall come up thorns and briars, yea, upon all the houses of joy in the joyous city. Because the palaces shall be forsaken, the multitude of the city shall be left, the forts and towers shall be for the dens forever, a joy of wild asses, a pasture of flocks. Yeah, so it's all basically, that high-flying lifestyle, that's only going to run for a certain while. It's really only a mirage and illusion of it. Because what a lot of people do is what? They're, outside of the few times they go out there, they want to do certain things, they ain't really living no kind of life. By the brother mentioned, they'll be eating like 10 pasta, they'll be eating like 10 beans, they'll be eating like it's fucking World War II, man. Everything's in the tin. Fucking 10 goddamn chicken in America. I still can't quite get over that. I've got a whole ass cooked chicken in the fuck like. Sure. But anyway, Revelation 3 and 14. And unto the angel of the church of the Lacedaemonians write, Laodicea write, these things saith the Amen, the faithful and true witness, the beginning of the creation of the Most High. I know thy works, that thou art neither cold nor hot. I would thou wert cold or hot. So then, because thou art lukewarm, neither cold nor hot, I will spew thee out of my mouth. Because thou sayest, I am rich and increase in goods, and have need of nothing, and knowest not. Thou art wretched and miserable, and poor and naked. I counsel thee to buy me, to buy of me gold tried in fire, that thou mayest be rich, white raiment, that thou mayest be clothed, and that the shame of thy nakedness do not appear, and anoint thine eyes with eye salve, that thou mayest see. As many as I love, I rebuke and chasten, be zealous therefore, and repent. Behold, I stand at the door and knock. If any man hear my voice, open the door, I will come into him, sup with him, and he with me. The flame did exactly. He went into the smoke of the rationing. Everyone's engaged what would like to imagine it leading. Excuse me. Everyone would like to imagine it leading with the pride of life. We live life. Right, enjoying the faith. But in reality, the affection of course naked. Right? Now more so, that's what taking the faith. We also have many people within the world, they think they're really doing something. But in reality, there's something being done. Right? That's why, especially those who are innocent, when this is said and done, they're gonna wake up and have a lot of shit. They're gonna realize that what they actually sold out for was worth it. Okay? In reality, what people are doing, they're working 5 days a week, enjoying 28 days or so a weekend, 2 or 3 holidays out here, free. Like, some, yeah, a couple breaks and 2 holidays,
reality is slave with benefits. But the design of the way of this world is to make it seem like you're doing a lot more currency to a lot of different people in the world. That's by design, right? And as we said, mentioned to something I don't know, I don't know how to do it. But no, we can say this is spirit, right? In reality, you know, they will send it to the key prophecies at the end, dealing with the bomb, right? And that's why all these things right now are being leveraged against the people. Right now with the monthly prophets, that seems like it's going to be the new agenda to basically manipulate the minds of the people to come to handing over more rights and feeding it to the system, right? Revelation 18. Revelation 18 and 3 says, "For all the nations have drunk of the wine of her fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her, and the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of their delicacies." That's, you know, one of the key focuses of, you know, Babylon the Great America and the links with it. People are looking for all the goodly pleasant things, all the different, you know, monetary benefits you get from it, all the different, what's the word, man? Like dainties and whatnot, whether it be amongst, you know, technology, different fashion, certain food, certain lifestyle, these are things that, you know, everyone's drawn to. That's why everyone's kind of putting in their dealing with America. They, you know, they want to get something out. Same thing for over here. A big part of the culture where people come over, they're chasing some kind of lifestyle. That's why you have like the migrant crisis. Did a bunch of people coming. It says, "And I heard another voice from heaven saying, Come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, and that ye receive not of her plagues. For her sins have reached unto heaven, and the Most High has remembered her iniquities." That's the opposite. You're going to be part of the punishment. It's like it says, don't go on. Because what? The hand joining hand. The wicked shall not be all together on punishment. Because why? Everyone's going to be linking up. They're basically got this as far as for them. The American system is like the core of way more than society runs. So then for them, they're gonna do everything in their power to ensure it continues. But it's a matter of judgment. It's a matter of being brought to an end. So it says, for a sin, verse 5, "For her sins have reached unto heaven, and the Most High have remembered her iniquities. Reward her even as she rewarded you, double unto her, double according to her works." That's the thing, there's a whole list of crimes and offenses that have been done by, you know, by America, by the network.
the scriptures, and those crimes haven't been paid for. That's a big part of why now it's a matter of forgiveness, redemption, moving on. Because it's far wide. There's those that benefited, those that have been taken advantage of. But if you don't have to pay for it, then if you get ahead, you go ahead. Why would you want to lose that advantage? But especially when you can disconnect and say, well, it wasn't me. It was my great grandparents or whatever. But reincarnation is a thing. So as far as the tab can still be paid. That's how much she has glorified herself to live maliciously. So much torment and sorrow came. So yeah, that's with the lifestyle that's basically afforded in the Western world. There's a reason it's you have classification. The first world, the second world, the third world. It's like the concentration of resources. Because over a long period of time, you had wealth into the West. You had different empires. The Dutch Empire, the Belgian, the French, the British, the American. There were different times. Different times where they all went out, they conquered, they so-called civilized different societies, different nations. And that resulted in what? Being able to get favorable trade, favorable gathering of whatever resources they had. That's why it's like I think even India basically being utilized to make tea. That was more because they had more land. And then even with a wide variety of different products, where like now it's like bananas. There ain't a single spot on the face of the United Kingdom where you can grow a banana. Coffee as well, tea. What else? There's a wide variety of like popular products culturally tied in with Britain, but they come from overseas. That's why it's important. When they went around to these different places, then they would have had them. They would have to be shipped over. The whole market for those products would have been in the UK. Yeah, yes. That was the and supplemented by slavery as well. The whole like islands, like Table Miles, Silver Spoon, all these different companies. So we deal with sugar cane, and something from West Africa as well. Cow. Cacao, chocolate. Yeah, chocolate's a big one. That's something that's really the South America. Moved over to I'm not too sure. South America, just push it there. No, I think South America in South America. Oh, it might be. No, coffee. One of some of the grains. Than South America.
She was released for the whole thing. I think you said something about
I think even why Ethiopia, Eritrea have coffee culture is because of the Italian conquest. Because they have a similar kind of espresso and whatnot, like the Italians do, pasta, all those kind of things. They have it bound into their culture. So these things they will tie into how the Western world was built up. Because now it's like people look at it and say, oh, engineers, all these different things. Even to today, you still have various countries around the world. You go into any of these tech companies, you can have a bunch of East Indians in there, you can have a bunch of so-called, Chinese. You have people, various different kind of human nations working within these companies, man. You have Jake in there as well. How did they get there? They obviously went over and moved over there. You have a lot of, I think, Yeah, 50.
I put Lamborghini doors on my Escalade.
Now, what was like a modern for the master?
But yeah, with
One was like concrete.
with the all the kind of
You get champagne.
even because Western even when we're dealing with tech, it's not the only place. That's why you have a variety of Chinese companies like so like Taiwan as well. Yeah, Taiwan is chips because I think even Apple trying to compete with chips, but they've basically only been able to do it because they have the iPhone, so they can basically enforce it with the iPhone. And same with like iMacs, MacBooks and whatnot, so where they can build it specialized for their software. That's the only reason their chips are competing. They're not, but it's like what the Taiwanese and whatnot. These guys chips now. That's the shit getting put in fucking missile aiming systems. That's the shit getting put like in everything, more or less. So these guys have the prominence. So ESO being at the peak of wisdom, that's something that's not even held in regard. Because now it's what they've been on the decline. It's like even if you talk with like Apple, Google, these different companies, what's the top social media now? TikTok, which is Chinese. You've had it where it's like a lot of the widest appeal dealing with what products and whatnot, even culture-wise. And culture-wise as well, even you had like South Korea, they've been popping off like all over. Considering the size of the country, it's actually insane that their music's gone mainstream as fuck. They're doing like performances over in the UK, the US, where they're selling out. Them niggas ain't even speaking English, man. Like it's hilarious. And then movies as well. Old boy, I remember from way back in the day, I spoke about that. Squid Game. And then what the US is producing, what the UK is producing, it's not the same level. It's like when we're talking UK TV shows, all you really had is Peaky Blinders in recent kind of memory. They ain't really had any shows made over here in the UK. Fucking hell. I'm sad. But you ain't really had shows like that where they've been popping off globally. In the US as well, similarly, it's like what shows you really had. Like this year, last year, where it's been popping like that. It's more kind of been obviously maybe reality TV, but that's like at the most garbage level of entertainment. Yeah, the other reviews earlier.
Yeah, I just know it's close to us, just when I don't say anything.
The demons on that guy look fucking supreme.
Abysmal.
He looked drowning.
He's about to take off like Harry Potter.
Don't let him, he was fucking possessed, man.
Yeah.
It was like you're drowning there. You're drowning under the
Demons, man.
That's that trans demon is that shit was destroying brain work, man. Even I was listening to something, one guy said they could identify the child that's going to be trans. Would you be willing to abort that child? I was like, you know what? That's how fucked it is, man. Because there, except where it's like the suicide rate is like 40 something, 42, 44% suicide rate. I'm like, bro, that's fucked. I'll keep reading. So it says, therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death, mourning, and famine. And she shall be utterly burned with fire. The strong is the most high power who judgeth her. It's funny, famine is, that's a hot button topic. It's kind of linked up with the fuel prices, inflation, and the loss of the Russian Ukrainian grain, these things are all looking like, oh, it's linking together, and it could easily be a famine. That's why, well, they, you know, the saving grace was meant to be what? The saving grace was meant to be the deal they made.
Oh yeah.
That man just blew up the port. Anyway, yeah, that shit is funny as hell. It's not real. You know, it's like them Russians are on a madness. So. Yeah,
Really just showing that they're toying with it. Showing them these bots.
so they even said like, oh, they wanted to do a ceasefire. Then, you know, Zelensky was like, if we do a ceasefire, these guys are basically just gonna have time to kind of build their armies back up. And then it was just like when Russia first invaded, them men were just pushing towards the border and just saying like, yeah, we ain't gonna invade. Them men, despite for months moving all their military units and whatnot, like obviously showing they're gonna invade. And he says what? And the kings of the earth who have committed fornication and lived deliciously with her shall bewail her and lament for her when they shall see the smoke of her burning. Yeah, everyone's gonna wail and lament. Because why? Everything, you know, the whole kind of, as far as for now, within the minds of the people, everyone, especially in the Western world, they're caught in a gridlock, man. Their minds can only see and operate within the system. That's why it's like you mentioned certain things, and then, well, that's why you have to kind of quantify the end for, you know, Florian's misses. Because when you mentioned society ended, the kind of the way that concept's been pushed through in what you call it in media, it's been like, you know, the world's gonna blow up. There's gonna be nuclear fallout. There'll be no human beings left. Everyone's gonna get zapped. The planet's gonna get shot into the sun. And that guy bullies that motherfucking seagull spot. Fucking funny. But that's what the concept is. But in reality, it's what's moving from one age, one rulership, one kingdom, one system into another. And that's something that, because they're so entrenched within the system, they can't even, you know, be suffered. They're thinking like, especially it's like, you know, women are thinking, oh, we're going to go back into the kitchen. Yes, you are. You're miserable out of it anyway.
And a bathroom as well. Yeah, the room got the fucking marble. The alabaster.
For real, that's why it's like the order's going to be restored. It's going to go back to, hey, how things have been done for thousands of years, man. Because that's the thing, this is real brand new. This is some brand new shit. Because as far as it's all these things, you know, it's as an experiment, we can look at results. You know, it's a resounding failure. You actually get in societies where the fucking birth rate is going to a point where they're going to fucking die out like 100 years. 200 years, they're going to basically have the majority of their society too old. They have to bring in some jakes to fuck all their women. But that's the funny thing. They said it's like to replenish it. They'd have to bring in immigrants to basically what to have more. Them guys actually just fucking have sex and have kids. Because even like the East Europeans, well, it's like them, you know, the guys Romanians, like them guys getting down. You see them hella them like
that's a big currency.
23, they'll be married, man.
Yeah.
By 28, they'll have 2 kids, about 1, 2 kids. They're not messing around. As far as those within the Western mindset, you know, 37, having the first kid, man, 33. One guy I know, he's like, he said his sister's 34, 35, having a baby, first kid, with a guy who's, you know, He bounces off the walls, man.
He didn't get the vaccine yet.
Somewhat. I don't know what happened to your finger right now. Nah, it wasn't all. What are you trying to find? I'm not too sure, to be honest. Victoria, what? It could be down there, it could be up there, but I think there's only one. There's Victoria over there. What's that one? Thanks. Right, so I was fucking what yesterday. The amount of people asked me for the record. Oh, do you know where this hotel is? I was like, nah, sorry, I don't. Some dumb American fuck off broad. It's like, but you live there. And I was like, you dumb monkey. What the hell? I work here. Do you live here? Because you're fucking here talking to me, you dumb bitch. People said that. I said I work here. What the hell you saying? I'm like, you fucking actual idiot. But I was like, bro, it's like, but you live here. I was like, dog, I was like, I'm at work, man. What the fuck are you? But I'm meant to sleep in it. Give me a break, man. Sleep on the floor of my workplace. Actual idiots. People ain't gonna fucking goddamn marriage anyway. Revelation 18 and 10 say, standing afar off for the fear of her torment, saying, alas, alas, that great city Babylon, that mighty city, for in 1 hour is thy judgment come. Bro, when people in the midst of Rome, you know, man were out there, they were in their front yards, they were looking at the wheat fields like in Gladiator. They was in the wheat fields, his son was in the wheat fields playing with the wheat, you know, drinking little wine with his overrun, thinking about some boy he's gonna go do criminal acts to. While some Romans were in power, them guys weren't thinking that shit was gonna end either. They weren't thinking that as far as them guys had no idea that the barbarians were gonna bust in and take down Rome. They're like, but it's Rome. It's Rome. That's what happens when you're in the seat. When you're in the power seat, of course you ain't looking to go down. You're thinking like the whole world's been under your feet all this time. That's why I say, yeah, the guy fucking wants to play, man, playing the Flash. Ezra Miller, this guy's been losing his mind, man. He's been, yeah, he's been out there. The first video that came out was him choke slamming some random fans that wanted to take a picture or something. I think it was a night out or something. He's like, hey, can I get a picture? And he said, yeah, sure. He just grabs him, takes that to the garage. Yeah. Then there was like other footage come out of him fucking, like there was one of him in the bar where it was just like stepping up to a guy and trying to swing him on mats. Like there's been multiple incidents of him going around fucking people up for like the last 3 or 4 years. Like the first incident was like 2018, forever ago, but no one really spoke about it. But that's because they're saying it's like this guy, the fame's got to his head, man. He's been out there, he had so much success, he's really thinking I can just do whatever I want. I'm actually a god in flesh. I'm like, bro, you're bugged out, man. You're losing your mind.
I said, I am a god. No, you should be saying, I am.
That is, I am a baboon out there. But it's what happens when, you know, you get a position of prominence. People they feel like they can do whatever the hell they want. That's what, especially in Hollywood, in those kind of spheres, is why. Because they're basically doing criminal acts anyway. There's all kinds of madness going on behind the scenes. And as long as they're inside, in the circle, doing what they need to do, then, hey, certain things will just get allowed. But then what? It flips. Then they get like Wesley Snipes. There's always tax evasion. As if you didn't know these men were evading taxes the whole time. That's every business on the place on planet Earth. How is Google out here paying no taxes? How's Amazon being like, yeah, we pay X amount and ain't paying no taxes? everyone knows all these different companies. That's how they're doing. But it's what for some, even with what is it? What the fuck's his name, man? The gangster, the thingy. Alcohol. Was it alcohol? The one-way tax evasion. Yeah. Alcohol's tax evasion. It's kind of one of the loophole things where it's just okay. Yeah, even though they know everyone does it. Backwards that way. I don't know. The whole thing's in backwards. It would probably be down there. Because that's the Batman station.
And then the station is there.
Yeah, just follow the road.
It's next to the station.
Next station's down there. Just keep following
That's
the
the
road.
temples there, and then you got embankment further down. I got like eczema. I got a rash from work. Yeah,
Right.
fuck it. I wear a do-rag, so I forgot to change my fucking do-rag.
Oh, on your head?
The environment's like hot, cold, hot. You sweat, don't sweat.
So I'm not going to ask for directions. And people do the opposite. It's like, what? It's like you interrupted me, nigga. I was out here doing fuck all. I'm like, bro, it's like, I don't know what we want. The bank was that way. What can I fucking say, man? I do nothing to say. Are you not? That was one of the most legendary fucking things. Alright. Fucking froze me. Destiny.
Fucking spirit. Yeah. What?
Fucking opinion. So Revelation 18 and 11. No, yeah, 11. And the merchants of the earth shall weep and mourn over her, for no man buyeth their merchandise anymore. The merchandise of gold and silver. The merchandise of gold and silver, precious stones, and of pearls and fine linen, and purple and silk and scarlet. Yeah, a lot of things that are produced. There's whole countries where they produce products where they ain't even. It's like fucking what do you call it, man? A lot of electronics. There'll be places producing that shit where a lot of them ain't even making use of it. These things, and that's the one of the big keys of how America's maintained the economic dominance, man. They got everyone dealing with a petrodollar, and then on top of that, they go to the cheapest place they can find to get stuff made, man. Maximize the profits. But then the joke is that's ironically fucks over, your average Edomite, man, your average worker over there. It's funny how this whole place, like the greed, is what's tearing the system apart. And that's what's the whole thing. The elites looking to consolidate everything to themselves. They want the average peon's check. The average peon's check.
I'll read it because I had it just to go back to the point. Psalm 60 and 8, Moab Israel, dealing with Taiwan, China, all these different Moabite, Asian nations, Moabites and Ammonites, taking the forefront in terms of manufacturing. Alright? That's why we've gone into it before, the chips and everything like that. That's why before there was a time where you had everything made in the USA, made in the UK. They'll actually sought after items. right? Even speaking to our pops, they don't smoke cigarettes.
Destroyed. I didn't even see it.
So you have what was it called? Basically, speaking to my dad, basically saying back in the day, talking about shortage. Now like shortage, how you doing? Smile. Speaking about shortage, saying back in the day it was a manufacturing town basically. And now over there, you used to go there and you could get like Harrods clothing, like all the M&S, you know, because you have the Indian ladies manufacturing, making it. Go there and get it before you go into there'll be like mass producing it. And you get it before it made its way to the department stores. So you say like it costs like £50, which is quite a lot of money back then. In the 80s, early 80s or so.
So about £700 in today's money.
Yeah, like fucking, that's probably is, man. It's a lot of money. It's designer clothing, basically. British designer clothing. Basically, you know, you get it for £10, £5. And you'd be told the stipulation would be what? You're not allowed to wear this until the manufacturers release it. So basically, beforehand, if someone catches you wearing it, that would basically fuck up the whole deal. But basically, back then, what would happen? He could get his hands on like, you know, like quality trousers, quality shirts, quality clothing. Because you know they didn't have all this fast fashion. They actually had like fucking floral clothing, quality clothing, so I say. So basically, you get that. What's my point? Oh, United Kingdom would produce their own goods, but now you only have like fucking 200 feet. Yeah, that's bloody designer clothing. Yeah, that's like, I know like designer brands that sell their jeans for that kind of price.
240 odd quid. It's funny because the money today is a joke.
Yeah. Yeah, so the point being is that the manufacturing in this society is felt from race, and now it's going to spread to other nations.
What was I going to say as well? I remember Coronation Street. Coronation Street used to have the what you call it? The factory. We had a bunch of like women there working. And I'm like, bro, that ain't even been a thing for a while. I think it was like my mother's side, my grandmother. She worked in one of those. They used to be profitable, but it's like a lot of them industries. It's like I think from the 80s, like Reagan and Maggie Thatcher linking up to basically, globalize and destroy hell of them industries. It's funny. It's like since more or less the interests of the leaders of these different nations, they ain't been giving a flying fuck about the little man for the longest. Like it's clear as day, it's evident of all hell. But hey, that's people still out here thinking the government is doing things in their best interest. You're deceiving yourself. You're lying.
Jokes on you, man. But that's the point. I said it already. More bigger watch for. So how they basically leverage that. Even like Taiwan, for example, the fact that the chip, it really is like the Lord did it in a sense where the Moabites basically have such a stronghold over Esau's modern day power, man, where he can't utilize that sword. You can still utilize that sword, but not to the extent that he desired to. Now you have competitors like Russia, right? And China. They actually have a great grand standing in the world of geopolitics, right?
Isaiah 31 and 1. Woe to them who go down to Egypt for help and stay on horses and trust in chariots because they are many, and in horsemen because they are very strong. What it say? So yeah, they're trusting that new Egypt, man. As it says in Revelation, Egypt and Sodom. That's America. That new Egypt that everyone's leaning to, man. All these systems fucking hit you. Bro, you know I was cycling like 2 days ago. A fucking bird just shot towards me, took off. I had to fucking dodge it while cycling. If I didn't dodge, they would have hit me in the chest and knocked me off the bike or something. It was fucking wild, man. I was like, bro, it was so close. I was like, you motherfucker, bro. Yeah, it's actually wild. Salah. That says, because they are many, and in horsemen, because they are very strong. Oh, to the battery. Oh, it's cool. 71%. Because they are strong, but they look not unto the Holy One of Israel, neither seek the Lord Jehovah. Yeah, that comes down to really what the mark is marking. Is what? Basically, the utmost faith in Esau. Because it's just like it says in Exodus, they put all in the ear, which is what? Plainly saying, I love my master, I don't want to depart from him. That's what you're saying with Esau. And that's where it comes in, man. That's the mark. That corruption. That purpose. Because as for with what do you call it? With a lot of people out here, you can see they're completely integrated within the system. They ain't looking to be separated from it. And that's why lifestyle wise, they're looking 5, 10, 15 years down the line. That's why you mentioned the end of this era, end of this age. They're actually feeling internally. They just start feeling all messed up because they're thrown in a lot of Esau, man. They're like, okay, well, this is what it is. Especially for Jake, you get Jake in that mindset where they've accepted, I'm just a black piece of shit within the society, so I'm just gonna play my role, try and get up there, try and be like one of these white boys. That's really what they're trying to do, man. Jake women as well, man. They're out there with the blonde wigs, looking,
talking about where it is.
Yeah,
don't think I'm one of them.
Yeah. It's just like,
That's really how it is.
it's just legendary.
Like, listen, bitch, you stick out like a sore thumb, man.
It's so failing. So failing of what so failing at understanding who you are and like even how you're not it's not gonna happen, man. You ain't gonna get it. That's why it's like all these nowadays you're getting so many different companies where it's like, they'll be working, like someone will come out and they'll say, whilst I was working there, people are racist as hell, all these different things. I'm like, bro, why is every fucking company just you're getting called a nigger and a black bitch, man? Or guys talking about gollywog collection. Like, why is this fucking shit going on everywhere? It's good. That's the rule, man. When you partake, you get into certain fields, then they'll do that shit because they know what you're beholden onto them.
Yeah.
You already worship. You're basically
They saw it when you saw that fucking blonde wig and they knew she's probably
She'll probably shut me off at lunch.
Innit? Get her under the desk. Let me read this, sir. Jeremiah 2:33. Why trimmest thou thy way to seek love? Therefore hast thou also taught wicked ones thy ways. And that's what Jake be doing, man. Jake is trimming their ways. There's certain things that are accustomed to your upbringing culturally, alright? And you'll throw that out the way. Why? Because there's a desire to find love in the society. And the reality of the situation is there is no love. Right? There's always going to be a ruler, there's always going to be a subservient. And on this occasion, you are subservient to the ruler of this world. Alright? That's why I don't take you serious. Who you fucking dumb niggas are like, man, why don't you like us, man? Just accept it and keep fucking pushing, man. There's a Jake I know, he worked for the MI5, man. That nigga let me know, man, them lot are fucking racist. And they don't give a shit about a lot of shit. He said he quit after 4 years.
What the hell?
Right now he's actually doing he's one of them high flying Jakes, man. He's gotten to one of the top 5 unis in the world. That's how I say it. And basically that's how I met him. That guy went from fucking coat hanger to just fucking 6'5", fucking pedigree of a Jake, knocking people's faces off their heads, running around shooting guns. But if you see him, you think he wouldn't be able to do that. You think, why it's you? That guy just turn around and uppercut you into the spiritual realm. You know, like fucking Doctor Strange and that shit. Knock his spirit, whoosh. Knock his spirit out of you, man. But the point being is he even said it. He said, man, you know, someone shows you who they are, accept it and keep it moving, man. And that's what Jake, for the most part, is holding them back. They're trimming their ways to seek love. Let me read this as well. It's a book of Lamentations 1 and I'll start from verse 17. Zion is Lamentations 1:17. Zion spreadeth forth her hands, and there is none to comfort her. The Lord Yahweh has commanded concerning Jacob that his adversaries should be round about him. Jerusalem is as a menstruous woman among them. The Lord Yahweh is righteous, for I have rebelled against his commandment. Hear, I pray you, all people, and behold, my sorrow, my virgins, and my young men are gone into captivity. I called for my lovers, but they deceived me. My priests and mine elders gave up the goats to the sea, while they sought their meat to relieve their souls. Behold, O Lord Yahweh, for I am in distress, my bowels are troubled, mine heart is turned within me, for I have grievously rebelled. Abroad the sword grieveth, at home there is as death. But the point being is that Israel was deceived, and they basically sought unto the lovers, that they basically, you know, took on their religions and their cultures and the customs. And when they did it, and the Heavenly Father forsook them, and they fell out of favor within the standing of the world, then they basically said, yo, fuck them Israelites. Why? Because they served them no benefit. They sucked them for all their work. Now they want to be rid of them. That's the same thing in this kingdom right now. Right now, we're in the midst of a kingdom where Israel has been utilized to the maximum. And they're basically ready to say, like, okay, we're done with these ones. Let's wipe them from the face of the earth to establish our rulership, our dominion. What, Sam?
Yeah. Ecclesiastes 12 and 13. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear the Most High and keep his commandments. This is the whole duty of man. And that's really what Jake needs to come back to. That's as simple as you can boil it down to. Fear the Most High and keep his commandments. That's the job you've been put here to do. That's how you're meant to be rolling. And that's why it's like, they come back, they've been bound up, you know, from the web, the snares of this, you know, society, all the different things. You put, you know, all the carrots dangles over your head, like, you know, you can achieve it. But in reality, you've got a whole different path to follow, man. If you want any form of return on investment, at least. Yeah, close up? Yeah. Leave it there. Lord willing, next week. Say all praise to Yahweh.
Hashem, Yahshua, Hashem,
Everyone is awesome. Great gospel. Shalom, man.
don't know whether it's the dust in the